have tried to take my freedom and indeed to take my life. Just a few months ago in a beautiful Pennsylvania field, an assassin's bullet ripped through my ear. But I felt then, and believe even more so now, that my life was saved for a reason. I was saved by God to make America great again.
Do you see what is happening right before our eyes?
America first.
In the coming day, Jesus Christ will return to the earth as the millennial Messiah, or the second coming.
I am the chosen one. Somebody had to do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Chief Justice Roberts to administer the presidential oath of office.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the office of President of the United States
the office of President of the United States
and will, to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend
the
Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
First, I will declare a national emergency at our southern border. All illegal entry will immediately be halted, and we will begin the process of returning millions and millions of criminal aliens back to the places from which they came. We will reinstate my Remain in Mexico policy. I will end the practice of catch and release. And I will send troops to the southern border to repel the disastrous invasion of our country. Under the orders I signed today, we will also be designating the cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. And by invoking the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, I will direct our government to use the full and immense power of federal and state law enforcement to eliminate the presence of all foreign gangs and criminal networks, bringing devastating crime to U.S. soil, including our cities and inner cities. As Commander-in-Chief, I have no higher responsibility than to defend our country from threats and invasions, and that is exactly what I am going to do. We will do it at a level that nobody's ever seen before, but provide sanctuary and protection for dangerous criminals, many from prisons and mental institutions that have illegally entered our country from all over the world.
Governor Cox also cites a memo that Bernanke's office issued a memo calling Utah a sanctuary state.
Should we expect workplace raids?
Yes. I wouldn't call it a raid. They're based on investigation. But why do I say that? Number one reason, where do we find most victims of forced labor? Worksite operations. The Biden administration said they're concerned about trafficking, to include forced labor trafficking, but they stopped worksite enforcement operations. 3.5 decades, that's where we find a lot of victims of forced trafficking. You can count on worksite enforcement coming back.
You have mentioned that there could be a hotline for people to call in to report undocumented immigrants in their communities.
That's one thing we're considering, yeah.
Such a great honor. Such a great honor. How are you? President, welcome. Nice to see you. Yes. Thank you. Nice to see you. Did they like it? They enjoyed it? They got treated well? That wasn't the greatest. They actually thought it was fine. They said no big deal. Oh, you folks have been, the state has been. And I think gave at least 10% back if we make a check direct. But he was fantastic. Helicopter. Very, very well known.
Was it 200 truckloads of emergency food and those kind of things to help the people there?
For Central Storehouse, yes. Central Storehouse is our division. The one here next door is one single building with 540,000.
Let's get I think I have to put a hairnet on, right? Come on outside. Let's get a picture. Come on.
Selfie again. Sorry, my phone fell.
Got it?
So much missionaries that serve here 2 or 3 days a week that they actually help people.
Good stuff.
At a 5-pound bag of potato starter.
These, right?
Yep.
We're very proud of you. Really proud of you, Tony. And I fully understand what you do is like everybody else. Thank you, sir. Right over here. You're doing a good job. Well, thank you very much for being here, and this is very exciting for me. I know so many people that are in your church and the Latter-day Saints. The job you've done is beyond anything you can think of. In 180 countries, taking care of people the way you take care of people, and the respect that you have all over the world. I would love you to, while the media's here, just say a couple of words of what we just discussed, all of the care and all of the giving that you've done. And to help people, in particular poor people, would be a great thing, and perhaps they will transmit that to different parts of this country and the world. It's so brilliant to hear it.
Thank you, Mr. President. We're here in a place where we have food and material that we give to the poor. But this is simply an example of what we do across the world. The idea being that we think we have an obligation to God to look out for the people who would, without our aid, have tragedy in their lives, either poverty or hunger. And this is an example of what we do in how many, Bishop?
120 of those facilities in the U.S. and
120
Canada.
facilities.
So great.
And would you say a word about what you've seen across the world?
I was in China last week, and there I got to see what a wonderful job President Trump had done just previously. They were filled with hope because of your visit, Mr. President. And I also happened to drop in on an occasion when the Chinese members of the church were bringing supplies for school children who didn't have means of getting what they needed to go to school with.
Right. Well, that was very nice. I heard you were there. Formerly a great heart surgeon, one of the best in the world. And he decided to help even more people by doing what you're doing. So we appreciate that.
Thank
really
you very
great.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you all very much. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. President, why are you endorsing Mr. President? Guys. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
So they've been in the process of filling this order. If you would like to look at the you can attend to the Spanish filling the order.
Good stuff.
So let's add a 5-pound bag of potato starter. Yep. Put it in the bag.
Mr. President, are you encouraging Senator Hatch to run for re-election?
Yes.
Mr. Applesauce is actually being handled across the parking lot.
Mr. President, are you sending a message to Mitt Romney?
All the way up. You know, if you go out and you want to buy groceries, you need a picture on a card. You need ID. You go out and you want to buy anything, you need ID and you need your picture.